Hi everyone, I'm Ronan and Chain, and welcome to this live stream where we are going to be talking about, dare I say, one of the most highly anticipated and probably important films of the year, and depending on how you see it, which refers to the Fantastic Four, y'all. We're going to be talking about in depth about this trailer that just came out and how we feel about it and where we at with the connection with this team. I have me with someone who I respect his opinion. Sometimes I don't agree with him, but he's been in and out of the world of superhero related films and shows. I don't want to say content because I hate that word. But we have with us my paisano, my last was paisano, Jor-El Alexander. How you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good. I love the Fantastic Four, so let's go.
Beautiful, man. I
Mhm.
think where we can start is that before we do that, I want to say this that like I grew up liking them, but they weren't my main team. They weren't the action for me, but I did grow up with them, and especially with those two early Tim Curry movies. But before them, I had always heard about the Roger Corman film, and then I came up and about, and I had seen the both Tim Curry films, and then post high school, I think I saw Fantastic Four 2015, or as a lot of people like to call it, Fan Four Stick. Before we get into this teaser, tell people where are you with your connection with the FF? Uh, where are you at with that?
So the Michael B. Jordan film, I think that's one of my favorite movie reviews that I've ever done. Um, Horrible film for the record, but and then the first one I've never I know of it, but
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it. Was that from the 70s or 60s or something?
Late '80s, early '90s, Roger Corman one.
Okay, yeah, I've never seen that. I know of it, never seen it. The the Jessica Alba one. I mean, those are terrible too. But I mean, like, I liked them at the time because I was just a teenager and I was like in love with Jessica Alba, so it lucked out. And then we had my boy Christian from Nip Tuck in there. I loved. It's just weird to think that I loved Nip Tuck as a teen, but um, yeah, ironically, horrible films. But hey, I love the Fantastic Four. I love the Fantastic Four. My love for the Fantastic Four is because of my dad. He had this big resin miniature statue of the Thing back in the '90s, and weirdly, that led me through the comics. So yeah, I love the
Okay,
Fantastic Four. Yeah.
I know.
Shit, MCU should be lucky, fam, because if I wasn't like a fan of the Fantastic Four prior to this trailer, I don't know. But luckily for them, I love them dearly. Almost more than X-Men. Almost. Almost.
Ooh,
Maybe I have more memories with X-Men, but I don't know. There's Fantastic Four is such a core OG love for me.
yeah. We have with us, I believe their name is Derpy Entertainment. Great trailer, but I thought it was too short, and I'm more interested in Superman than this. But I'll watch this. Let's see. What we can get into all that later. Cool that you think it was a great trailer. But yeah, I think let's see. Oh, he got another one. This and X Men are the only projects I care about with Marvel. Okay, okay, he's strong. Yeah, to
Fair.
me, I've always liked the FF, and like I said, what I grew up on. But to me, with this film, I was just hoping how are they gonna tackle it? Because again, we've done young kids version, and then we had prime version, if you will, with the Tim Curry ones. So what do we do with this? And I had always known that they're rooted into the 60s, the Kennedy atomic age of like, we choose to go to the moon and we choose to do it before this decade is out. And so I was looking to see if they would ever tackle that element. And I'm telling you, bro, that from when this promo hit last year, if I'm not mistaken, on Valentine's Day, this thing sent shockwaves up my body and soul. And I was like, A, holy shit, they got this cast, and B, this feels right. This feels like fresh, dynamic, stylistic, and of an era that for us might be troublesome, but there was a depth of hope of being better, of looking to the stars and exploration, and much like Star Trek and whatnot. And I love that promo. And we had another one with like Johnny doing his Flame On sign. And the last thing we had seen, besides if you were lucky to be at D23 and Comic Con, which was that like practice footage, if you will, almost like documentary style 4x3. And that shivered goosebumps. That to me, that was the highlight of Hall H. I know Robert Downey Jr. came out, boom, I screamed, but that footage was the highlight to me. And the last thing we had seen was a little Happy Holidays poster from them, whatnot. But when leading up to the teaser, you had seen this photo. What did you think of that going into it, knowing that the director behind WandaVision is directing this, the fact that the great Michael Giacchino is doing the music, and that we were getting this kick-ass cast involved, being Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and cousin Ebon Moss-Bachrach.
Yeah, no. I've honestly been excited for this since I heard the concept. The concept of taking the Fantastic Four and sort of planting them in this in a period piece in the 60s, and taking this like 60s retro futuristic approach with Giacchino on the mix with this cast. I just thought that was genuinely one of the most ingenious ideas the MCU has ever put forth in terms of a concept. So yeah, I thought it all sounded great. Ironically, this sort of brings up a hot take, but I'm trying to hold myself back. But I thought I was very excited. Very excited. Pretty much everything has sounded good so far. I would agree with you. Well, I mean, I guess there was nothing crazier than the RDJ Doom moment, but
yeah,
I guess the most satisfying thing, 100%, was the Fantastic Four panel. But we need to hurry up because there's a hot take I need to unleash.
Okay. Before we start with the teaser, Hunter Iggy says, "Run Unchained, what is your thoughts on the lawsuit for James Gunn's Superman movie?" I don't know the full details of it. I know that the Warner Brothers is being sued over because I guess behind the people behind Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster's estate are wanting to get their the payments that they usually get that was contracted to them. And again, I don't know the full details of it. I don't know who what are going out. All I know is that Jerry Siegel and Joel Shuster got screwed over back in the day when they had sold Superman rights, and by the time they had passed away, they weren't that rich. And I think that's a cardinal sin. And I feel that for their family's sake, we should amend those broken bridges, those terrible acts, and give them a fraction of the amount of money you're gonna make and have been making with this character. And I think James Gunn has nothing to do with this dispute. I think, if anything, you know that he's always been a fan of the creators and have tried to support them as much as can. I mean, for the sake of promoting stuff now. So that's my basic thoughts. I don't know too much detail of it. Maybe one day we'll tackle it once the movie gets closer. But I say pay the creators and their families, do right by them if you're going to make a bunch of money behind this character that's as iconic as some of our most ancient mythology. Deputy Demon says, "I'll give you props tomorrow having the best version of the Thing after one trailer." We'll get into that. That's a big topic of discussion with this teaser that's been coming out of the Watsu. Hey,
I
Mike.
got a lot to say. I got a lot. Weirdly, now that I've had a slight bit of time to reflect, I was trapped at work, people. So I didn't get a chance to watch the trailer like 100 times like y'all did. But yeah, now I do have quite a few thoughts, weirdly.
Okay.
This might sound odd, but when the trailer ended, I was like, oh, God, I don't have much to say. But now I got a few things to say.
Okay. So we'll start getting to it. That first trailer kicks in, and dude, We're in the fucking Baxter building, man. We are in the Baxter building.
Yes.
You know what? Would you rather see images or do you rather see the actual trailer itself?
It doesn't matter. Whichever one
Okay,
you want to do. That's fine.
let's do this because
I guess it
feel
depends
like
on
my
what we're talking about, I suppose, as
okay.
well.
I say let's show it one time, unless more folks join in. But let's just show it one time and see how we feel after seeing it again. Because I feel like it's it's to me a lot of trailers I consider pieces of art. So that's how I feel about it. Let's see. So that looks good. Tell me if you hear it, okay?
Sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Before we start, we can comments, tag me in. Yeah, give us a sec, Mike. We'll let you in right now. We just want to get some stuff out, but we'll get you in. We got you.
By the way, I just gotta let out a tiny negative. Okay, I'm so sorry. It's just
Okay,
it's
go for it.
it's just a light one. There's a light one, real tiny and soft. Why, for the love of God, why can't all studios upload trailers in 4K? Why? You're driving me crazy. I get that everybody doesn't have this like bald eagle 2020 vision like I do, but I do. Okay, it's not my fault. Okay, it's just how I was born. All right. God damn it. I think the only people who are doing it is maybe Neon. I think it's just mostly Warner Brothers, but it's just like, why? Why can't all of y'all do this? Why?
I agree.
I hate it. It is so frustrating from like an editing standpoint because I try to make the imagery of my videos as pristine as I can in the short time that I'm allotted. So it's just like, come on. Jesus Christ. Like when James Gunn's Superman dropped, baby, right? That crispy 4K. Lord Jesus.
We'll get into that because when it comes to 4K, I have thoughts on how a certain character that I dug looked way more better for me in 4K than in the regular 1080p. But I digress. Let's watch this and see how we feel about it again.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7 on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Kirby, how's that sauce coming? Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
I love the part clap.
Okay. Okay, is this guy good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
T-5.
Yeah, man.
Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible.
Oh,
Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
oh.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together. As a family.
Oh, beautiful. I'm telling you now, dude. It hits better after the first viewing because a lot of stuff. But oh man, it is just glorious. I feel, man, like just gotta get the family dynamics right, and I think already there's just chemistry between Vanessa and Pedro. Like that is Sue and Reed from what I had gathered of this stuff. And like, when I look at the thing, I just think of Jack Kirby and I see the hothead of Johnny Storm trying to flame on or all around. Yeah, man. I mean, folks who don't know, Jor-El did a reaction, which you go definitely check out on his channel But after seeing it more than once, what are your thoughts, positive, negative, in a constructive criticism manner? How are you feeling it after seeing it again?
Well, okay. So, man, where do I begin? Okay, so I think it's a good trailer. Okay, I think it's good. I think therein lies a few problems. I mean, man, where do I begin? I mean, I think it looks good. Like Reed's, he's doing some kind of accent, which I never picked up before. That was very curious to me.
Pedro.
I guess that's just how he talks through the whole film. That's curious. But it does invoke the time period, but I don't know. That's not negative. It just caught me. It just caught me off guard. The cast chemistry looks good. It might be easier for me to. I'm just gonna talk about what first comes to mind. I love this thing. Okay, I think that the design is kind of borderline perfect. However, I my first instinct was I was like, I hope that they can render it a bit more.
Enhance it more.
I hope that I mentioned this in my reaction, but I hope they can give the CGI, clearly CGI, more of a tactile texture by the time July 25th rolls around. As stupid and dumb as the Jessica Alba, Tim Curry version of the Fantastic Four was, I won't lie, I really, 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 even to this day, love that the thing was practical
Michael
effects.
Chiklis. Yeah.
And I kind of wish, because they showed what's the guy's name from the Bear?
Ebon Moss-Bachrach.
Okay, I'm not used to saying his name. I'm just used to loving the show. I'm just used to loving Cousin on the show, The Bear. But when they showed some behind the scenes, like they showed like set images, right? And he was in like a practical suit, like that looked like 5-10x better than what we see in this trailer. I don't want to give like a death blow though. I mean, there's still time to. I just think like the CGI in general needs to be polished, but particularly on the thing. Really, that was like my first like ooh, interesting. And then there was something about the way his voice came out of him. I think it's fine. It kind of sounded like his normal voice. So I wonder if come July he'll have more of like a gravelly, rocky voice. I would definitely prefer that. Maybe just talking about the thing is a good place to start actually, because I just love him so dearly. And another problem: would he have looked better if it was released in 4K?
So here's the thing, dude. Like, okay, so the voice, that threw me off a bit because I'm used to it's great, it's clobbering time. That's what I'm used to. That's what I would think of Oak when you're made out of rocks. But I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt that if they choose to go with this route and keep that voice, that makes it a little bit maybe a little bit more eerie. That like this man speaks just like us, but he looks nothing like us, and that's a burden in him. That like I sound like you, but I don't look nothing like you. And who wants to look at someone like this and be with someone that looks like this, that like, and it's again going back to that whole of like, don't judge a book by its cover. I'm like, not everything's about looks. So in some regards, I hope they do the it's clobbering time voice, but if they don't, they got a kick-ass actor that if you can break my heart with your regular voice,
sure.
And like you said, there's some stuff that's nitpicky. Again, we had it already. Michael Chiklis did that voice already. So if we had never gotten that voice, I would have been like, yo, can somebody fucking please do the gravelly, like long-term smoking voice, if you will, please. But dude, when you hit up on the 4K thing, it was when I saw the 4K that I felt better. I was like, okay, that feels better with the 4K. But
so are you talking about like still images, or did someone upload like a fan edit in 4K?
There's some channel had done a 4K version of the trailer.
Oh, okay.
And that felt better. And I got this because of stills from online. and he looked better with that. I could see the formation of the different like type of rock he had. I mean,
Interesting.
and I want to preface this for a lot of people. Design wise, they got it. They got the eyebrows. That is the Jack Kirby, John Byrne stuff that like Alex Ross type of painting of you. That is the minutia of like Ben Grimm's a thing. But to me, I love what they did with Thanos. But to me, the first time that I went, holy shit, VFX can do that now. I mean, Avatar, James Cameron, that's his shtick. But I remember watching the teaser trailers or the trailers for War of the Planet of the Apes. And I said, that is not Andy Serkis and cast members riding horses as monkeys. Those are actual monkeys riding horses with shotguns. And so if they can get to those levels of visual effects for the Thing, I think we got a home run with that. But as of right now with 4K, he's looking better than my first initial takeaway. And I know people have been saying that, he should be a little bit more bulkier, which to an extent I agree and I'm okay with. But I think just because we're not used to seeing him with an actual suit,
sure.
At least in these live action iterations, that like maybe that's why he looks small to folks. But to me, that is like ripped out of the comic book pages, brought to life in the best way regards. And the fact that it's interactive with Herbie, the robot, the assistant to the Richards and the Storms, if you will. So I'm very looking forward, and they kept the human eyes, which I appreciate it so much, because that's a lot of what makes them the lovable bulk of rocks, if you will. But again, 6 months away, there's still time for the VFX to work on. And at this point, having heard how VFX are run in Hollywood, give the artists their time, fair time to do this.
Yeah. I will say though now that there's like 2 shots of the Thing in the trailer that I think are legitimately impressive. Easily the most impressive one is when he's like looking through a window at like some television screens, and we see like a reflection looking back at him.
Yeah.
Can you move forward just a tiny bit?
Here, let me
see. Because the shot's coming up. I need to just give you a timestamp.
Here, it's this one.
But it's incredible though.
Yeah,
absolutely incredible.
That right there here. Yep. See, that's 1080p. Yeah. See that shot. That to me, dude. That was the scene. Here we go.
Yes.
This was the scene
that incredible.
That broke me because that reminded me a lot of this famous page of like this man, this monster, of him crying. And I see this, and I've been saying this, I instantly think of Jack Kirby and what he went through, and how much he didn't get the fair amount of love and accolades that he should have. And I just want to hug him. And he's always said that the Thing is me. Like I'm very forward. He talks like I do. He likes cigars like I do. He'll fight off the bullies, if you will. And man, to me, seeing that moment with these shots of like him staring at, to me, this is the best shot of the Thing besides him running. This was a shot. I'm like, oh, he's wearing a fedora with the little suit and whatnot, and like he's trying to live a normal person's life, even looking like that. Like it is just tragic for the sake of it. It is just
that shot through the window I thought was I think there's another frame but either way it's incredible. Like Jesus Christ, like how is that not the Thing?
Let's look at some of the comments. Jonathan McIntyre said that it's very Jetsons. I agree, and I love that. It is. There's that set design wise. Again, kudos to the production designs of getting that 60s vibe. Very much Incredibles, if you will. Something that's very much near and dear to my heart. Hi, Jeffrey. How you doing, man? Hopefully you're doing okay. Hopefully you're enjoying the show and whatnot.
And if you skip to about 58 seconds in, this is the second shot that I was referring to. We'll have to monkey about with frames, but either way, that's essentially the shot I'm talking about. Like that, that also is incredible.
Better for you,
yeah. Like if they just released that only, just like as some 4K still, it would be. Well, I guess I just would have assumed that was CGI, but I would not have been able to really discern like what the fuck are we doing here? Is it practical effects? Is it a combination? Blah blah blah. But either way, great shot. Great shot.
What else? I want to just talk about how, to me, someone who has been, I don't know if he could pull off Reed Richards and why does Pedro have to be in everything, whatnot. To me, seeing him walk with Vanessa, seeing him being dressed up in dapper as a scientist, as someone trying to push the boundaries of humanity, seeing him warring for his wife and his friends and family, like. You know me, man. You know how much Pedro means to me, and from where I'm coming from. And
Sure.
look at this. This is a shot that goes by quick, and I could already sense he feels like he just killed Sue. He feels that he just lost the love of his wife, lost the love of his life, and he managed to realize, oh my gosh, she's been altered. She can turn invincible, if you will, and like. That these moments just and like again go back to the thing part, like the best of friends, the time before the accident of what happened.
Sure.
I just they and just seeing the love between him and Sue, they didn't show his powers, and I was okay with that. I was okay with that because that's got to be another moment of just stretching and being putting out the limits of it. And I know Matt Shackman before or during the strikes, when he could talk, he couldn't fully talk about casting and all that stuff and writing, was that like he was working on designs and making sure that a lot of stuff was science based, and that we've never seen these powers utilized this way, and that hopefully we can get them right, that we honor what the drawings came out of the original text, the Bibles, if you will, but also make it be like, this got to be realistic. We're doing a film. We're not doing a piece of art. So I can't wait. And what are your thoughts right now with Pedro as Reed Richards?
I think it's great casting. I am curious, like, what's gonna be like hearing him do that accent for 2 hours. That'll be curious. I almost don't even know how to describe the accent. I need to find like someone in real life that spoke that way back then.
Go to New York.
So I got a better frame of reference. So, but no, I mean, I think the cast is great. So they should be great in their roles in general. Vanessa Kirby is wonderful. Guy from the Bear is great. Okay, so like when I saw the Superman trailer, I was blown away. Like I loved the Superman trailer. Like anyone watching this and then watching my reaction to the Superman trailer, to say that there's a distinctive difference is insane. No offense to this trailer. It's good, but it is curious that I don't know. It's curious that I didn't just like flat out like love and lose my mind. That's just interesting to me. It's very weird that I love the Superman trailer more than this one. That's very curious. And I've been trying to figure out like why is that? Because it has nothing to do with the length, that's for sure. It has nothing to do with what's been withheld. It certainly is not that.
I think it has to do with execution. It's how you used either music, how the setting where you are with your connection in Superman at that time, and how for a lot of us, when we saw that teaser, that was the Superman we've been waiting to see for a long, long time.
Sure.
And like,
but I do think that the Superman trailer was kind of radical. Like it was just so unique to me. It was so definitely visually radical. I was just like, that this is the wildest sort of cinematography route to take for a Superman film. He's almost going like a Suicide Squad kind of look for Superman, which is wild. I loved his Suicide Squad, but yeah, all those characters and so many characters that I didn't even recognize. Be honest with you, it just looks like the wildest cinematic take on Superman that we've ever had so far. And maybe that's the issue, because I've been trying to narrow this down since before I came on the stream. Because I'm not even going to lie to you. This trailer is the complete reverse. This just feels very basic so far. Just very safe so far. Certainly nothing crazy.
Although I love it, I like I was telling you beforehand, to me, this had the elements. It felt like an official trailer, not a teaser. Like the teaser, I for sure thought was like them in astronaut suits, and then we would subtly hint at them individually with their powers. And then I for sure thought they were gonna use a copyrighted like song, which I would have been okay with. And now people are like, fuck the copyright songs. To me, what I've been listening, the song I've been listening to over and over to get me into the Fantastic Four vibe, or songs, if you I should say, is always I've been listening to "All You Need Is Love" by the Beatles, "Rocket Man" by Elton John, and my personal favorite, "Space Oddity" by David Bowie. I was like, that song hits those FF vibes for me, and like I for sure thought they were going to use one of those songs. They didn't. That's fine, but yeah, I think as much as I dug this trailer so much, there is a different tone to the Superman and this one, which is fine. But what I've gathered is that you think both are good, and they're from the two polar opposite companies, brands, and they're both coming out in July. And from what I've been hearing, it's like you're intrigued to go check them out. You're willing to see what these creatives are going to put behind these characters, and if they will stick the landing. And I've always said to everybody, I think we're gonna have two huge hits, and I think this summer is gonna be the summer of Marvel and DC. And it might even put to bed a lot of people going Marvel over DC. It's like, no, both can be great and both can do different or similar things. And I think it's gonna have similar and not the same one-two punch of 2008 when Iron Man and The Dark Knight came out. I think for doing different things, they're gonna have that synergy of just like a breath of fresh air and the possibilities being boundless. I think.
You know what's gonna mess you guys up? What was that? Was that D23? Was that test footage dropped? The Fantastic Car flew around. Was that D23?
I was there. That was Comic-Con. I was there. Yeah.
Oh, was it? Okay, but either way, that test footage, I don't even know what else to call it. It leaked. They didn't release it officially, right? I think it just leaked. Either way, it's gonna mess you guys up. I thought that footage was like 5-10 times better and more exciting than what we just watched. Okay, what do you guys think about that? What do you think about that?
I'm in some regards, I can kind of agree with that, but part of me doesn't like. I can't tell you how I freaked out seeing the Thing and Sue Storm and her powers and whatnot. So, again, doing different things, but I get where you're coming from with that. Like there was this awe of like, I literally was in the room going as they were playing stuff. And again, he said we had only had a week to shoot this. This is not going to be all in the movie. But check this out. And I was just watching it. I'm like, they're doing it. Oh my God.
What?
This is The Incredibles. Oh my gosh, the music. Oh my, and then like this trailer, the last ticket was like, oh, by the way, remember that cloud you didn't like of Galactus? Remember when they chose to do a cloud? Here's the fucking Jack Kirby design. Boom, dominoes. And it's just like
Sure.
And I get where you're coming from.
I did complain about the size of Galactus, but if memory serves, I believe he can grow his size or change his size. Yeah. I totally forgot about this. But yeah, I definitely hope we get a bigger version of Galactus. I want to see Galactus. I want to see the Planet Eater. Okay, I'm sick of this grounded, realistic bullshit. Okay, he's supposed to be a nigga who can like swallow planets or some bullshit. Okay, where is that Galactus? Give me that Galactus. Like I'm kind of, sort of okay with a Godzilla 2014 size Galactus, but just give me the big psychotic motherfucker. If you can give us those goddamn Sentinels, whatever the fuck, I think that's what they're called, the Sentinels. Or the Eternals, those giant celestial bastards. Give me that size of fucking Galactus, all right? I want to feel like, oh my god, how can they stop this nigga? All right. and admittedly, like I love Alex Ross. There's some paintings from Alex Ross of the Fantastic Four, and of I think it's just in Marvels. I think I'm thinking of a moment from Marvels, like again, something like that. Like admittedly, Alex Ross didn't have to worry about finally rendered CGI, but that stuff, like those paintings, are just so gorgeous that it's like, okay, I guess I'll take a skyscraper size Galactus for 2 hours, but it's like, come on, let's get fucking nuts. Can we get nuts? All right?
Yeah.
Shit.
I think that this was, you and I are both Nosferatu fans. That this echoed of the hand hovering.
That is cool
to me.
That is
and
cool.
When you mentioned the Alex Ross stuff, dude, I'm telling you, in 4K version, this shot of Johnny flaming on through the city, through the buildings, these felt like Alex Ross paintings. That felt like him going like, you want to see him fire? Here's the fucking fire. Here you go, Johnny.
I need to see the 4K.
Yeah,
give us the 4K, Marvel. Stop this. Stop. How is DC uploading 4K before you? Come on. What's wrong with y'all? Are y'all serious?
I think the first kick-ass woman that threw in the femininity and saying that you could be sweet, maternal, and badass and compassionate was Susan Storm for Marvel. And I think Vanessa Kirby has been talking about how much she loves her, loves what she represents, has loved reading through the books, and it's just keen on trying to nail it. And it goes to show with this footage how her husband is freaking out over like, oh my gosh, I messed up. I got you guys all sick and whatnot. And I love her reassurance of saying like, listen, Ben has always been a rock. Johnny has been doing his Johnny thing from the get-go. And I'm doing my thing. And dude, oh my gosh, she's doing the powers. Her just reassurance is just like, that is relationship goals, man. And the fact that she's a superhero makes it even 10 times cooler and whatnot. I love the compassion that she brought on to this footage and whatnot. And I'm going to bring another member of, if you will, my FF crew. We have Michael Sowell. Mikey, how you doing,
Yo!
Yo, what's up going on, man? What's up, Jor-El?
Yo, what's going on, bro?
Going good. It's been a busy day, man. Busy week.
Boy, don't need to
but
tell
we
me.
eating good.
Yes, sir.
Folks who don't know, Jedi Mike did also do a reaction. Go to his channel and check out his reaction to the trailer. I saw him freak out over a couple stuff. Mike, you were there with me in the room. We weren't together in the same vicinity, but we were in the same room.
We were in the same hall.
The test footage.
All H.
From going from that,
crazy.
Having seen this early on in the year, seeing the footage, to seeing now this teaser, how are you feeling? And is there a standout moment to you? Is there something that you're concerned that we'll get fixed by the time it comes out? How are your thoughts coming out of this official teaser trailer?
Listen, when just let you know, the character of Human Torch, Johnny Storm, that is a character that is like tied to my childhood. Listen, the first Fantastic Four movie, like Chris Evans is like, in terms of giving me in superheroes, like yes, it was Spider-Man and stuff like that, but just the Fantastic Four. I mean, I got the DVD for Christmas, not Blu-ray, DVD. But yeah, and it kind of just took me back, to the old days, man. And just when I saw him take off and fly and everything, that was cool. But yeah, that was really cool. And I hope again they do it justice and stuff like that, because to me this was almost the perfect hybrid of the previous two iterations, because the first one you got the more campiness of it all with the first two Fantastic Four films, but then with the fourth one, with the third one, you have like the more science fiction element of it, of like type of body horror, serious nature to it, right? But this is kind of like bringing the bridge of both worlds. Like, yes, there's some serious tones to it, but yet you still have the aspect of family here, and to a point where, hey, I might laugh and I might cry in this movie, and that's where I don't feel like I'm gonna get scared or anything. I don't feel I'm gonna get bored, and I feel like with the Ebon Moss-Bachrach, it's a thing to me that kind of sold it for me, because one, it's like it's giving homage to Alex Ross, one of the paintings of the thing. It's just like it's textbook from that, with the huge eyebrow and everything, and like the more round shape, because in Comic-Con we only saw his silhouette. So it just like, I was like, wait a minute, okay. And I see some people online talking about like the height of him compared to the Hulk. It's like, well, even in the comics, like, yeah, he's supposed to be shorter than the Hulk though, but it's like, I mean, yeah, depending, like, I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, I just know that in terms of his size, just know he'll compensate that with his strength, and it was kind of just cool, like seeing him run and everything. I'm trying to see like who's he fighting, because like you're not punching Galactus, motherfucker. You know, like I don't see how that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And like, listen, I remember when Jor-El did his reaction to the Fantastic Four 2015, and I just remember like when he did his review, the first 2 seconds, he like, ladies and gentlemen, this movie is a fuck up.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm just hoping I can get at least 20 minutes of this movie, and hopefully not have that same experience as an adult. I hope.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so I'm not sure what I was expecting when I finished this trailer, but it's so interesting that I was just like, oh, it's okay. I don't know. That just really took me aback, because like that test, you really just don't know. That test footage, that panel, they had the fantastic car flying over the heads of people, like all the posters, all the word of mouth, all the set leaks, pictures. I was just like, oh my god, could this be on my top 10 list? Oh my god, like it's like I'm coming back to Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just going crazy. But
he has risen.
but I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, I mean it's good, but I was like, I wonder if this will be a reflection of when I see the film. But again, just a teaser. All right, we got months to go. All right, but I was like, dang, why can't it? I just wish that Superman trailer really was gas. People really just don't know.
Yeah.
God. And plus they have like a full year to polish the VFX for Superman, which Fantastic Four did not have or does not have.
Yeah, that's something that like people don't realize, that like both are coming out at the same time, similar time, but one had more time to polish their VFX. And I think what I heard is that they did that test footage. Yeah, they did the test footage to showcase that they can achieve the VFX they want for this film. So, and they can do it between now and July, kudos. But like I've been telling people, don't send these artists in crunch time. I don't want to hear them working 18-hour shifts. This industry is a bust, as I've been hearing, and like give them time. And like here's the thing, people don't realize, they have our money. We're gonna go check out this movie. It's just like, by the time we get there, make sure that it was worth the $25 you're charging people nowadays to go to the movie theaters. Like, make it that worth it, and we'll show up. We're already showing up. The artists and creators who did these characters, they vouch for them. We vouch for them now. It's like, now it's up to y'all to bring it. And again, it is a heavily VFX film, and it's just about making sure that you present it at the best possible way and the biggest screen possible. And if you do so, people will come. People will show up.
See, this is what scares me, because like I almost feel as if like even though this would physically cause me pain, it's like, could we not just delay the film until like July 2026 and just have you guys give you extra time to work on the VFX? Like I don't know. I feel like the older I get, like as a filmmaker and a film lover, like I really just want the highest quality possible, Like my number one most anticipated film, the spoilers for my channel, but I haven't put the video out yet. But my most anticipated future movie is Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, which is out summer after next, and or next year, yeah. And I can't even articulate, because like Nolan, he's gonna shoot it like so fast, like unreasonably fast, probably like in 50 days or something. probably under 60 days, and it's just like the amount of visual quality that's going to go into that film, it's just like unspeakable. And what's even crazier is that he doesn't need to like slather around like all these green screens and blue screens, you know what I mean? So it's like how is he's like a magician or something like this. And it's just like, why can't Marvel do something like this, you know? Like, why couldn't this film have been like, obviously this film was shot in digital, okay, please. But it's like, why couldn't they have shot in like 16 millimeter or, you know, like with the Brutalist, like 35 millimeter? It's just, I don't know, I'm kind of waxing poetic.
Too much of them. It's corporate.
But I shouldn't be. We're talking about films with like, you're near two.
It's like you're talking about artists and filmmakers and corporate.
Uh-huh.
Marvel now is corporate.
Okay, but they're also like they're so obsessed with people pleasing, right?
Of course,
you know? which is weirdly has gotten them in trouble. But it's like shit, and they have these huge budgets. You know what I'm saying? Disgustingly large budgets. It's just like, man, I just want the highest quality possible. That's it. That's all. That's it.
I think of quality. I think we got our comments here that we can go on far. So Jeffrey says, no, Elvis Presley for Fantastic Four Ronin. LOL. It'd be cool to hear Jaws rock. Hey man, I'm a fan of Elvis Presley's songs. I would not be against it, but if you really want to hit 60s space science, wacky psychedelic age, the Marvel Age, Civil Age, to me, David Bowie is in that playlist. Like almost all his hits are in that playlist.
They're gonna do that. They're gonna do. See, hey, they might do Starman after Superman does Starman,
which is why I say that like if anything, Starman should be for Superman, and they should use Space Oddity for the Fantastic Four. Like, you know, tell my wife I love her very much. She knows like that ground control to Major Tom. That is the FF for me, at least for me. But I'm not opposed against them using Elvis. You know, go for it, man. Wow, it's true. Wow, interesting. Ronan is Mr. Fantastic. Thank you. I did consider cutting my the beard to look a little bit like Pedro for this, but I'm gonna wait till Comic-Con. I'll wait till Comic-Con until I slip down a little bit, and then who knows, maybe I can find me a Sue Storm at Comic-Con. But anyways, Busy Braun also says some love, show some skin, Ronan, I'll donate. Maybe OnlyFans, maybe we'll see.
Hey,
there's a recession right now in the economy, Ronan, so we'll see.
My links are open. If you pay right.
Busy sends a love to you guys. Just he said, love y'all, saying hi and whatnot. Laugh my out, Busy. I agree with that. Yep.
See, set up that Patreon. Come on.
Right.
Fellas, the Baxter building, the aesthetic, Herbie, like the fact that it's an actual like robot on set. I think
is it
really hard. I would be heartbroken if they didn't do a robot. That looks like an actual robot.
They already had a puppetry for the thing. They had a stand-in for him. It's because my thing was like if they did that practical, trying to keep it the realism as possible, even at that final shot, I bet you that was a stand-in that was there. And then they kind of polished it with that. But Herbie just as an actual probabilist is Disney. They're gonna build that for a prototype for Disney Park, you know, and stuff like that. They're gonna.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I completely just assumed that every shot of that robot in that trailer was CGI. But hey, if they got a practical version, that'd be dope.
People have been saying that like they want the Disneyland Tomorrowland to convert into the Future Foundation aesthetic. Which, hey man, I like Tomorrowland. But if you want to do full-on Future Foundation at Disneyland, I will buy a ticket just to spend the whole day in that section of the land. Like I could take a break from Star Wars Land and just hang out at the Future Foundation section of you all. Yes, Mike.
So I mean, I know you guys talked about this because I had dinner with my wife and stuff just recently. That I just was talking with the trailer. Was like, listen, there's a lot of stuff they didn't show because they didn't even show us like, you know, a Reed Richards like stretching, you know. Yeah. Now I'm not saying I've been wanting to see a man stretch. It's something that was the words will ever come in my mouth. Never thought it would come after the trailer, but hey, you know, never say never. Ew. But I just thought that for the things that are kind of hiding here, like, okay, this is alternate 1960s with Fantastic Four. Because like I'm like, okay, are you going to be still doing plays of like, hey, listen, this is a different MCU, and you're going to try to put some things that are like, oh, this is a actor or character here, just different version. Like this is there's three characters. Obviously, Robert Downey Jr., which I don't know how they're gonna do that and if he is in this world or not. But two, Black Panther, because hey, the Black Panther was introduced in the Fantastic Four comic, and you know they talk. I don't believe Nate Moore. I don't believe Nate Moore. For a damn, that motherfucker's lying. Recast T'Challa. And I was like, hey, well, why don't you introduce him in an alternate universe? And he's in Fantastic Four. Makes sense. And also, Future Foundation, Peter Parker. Like, listen, like, what way of like if you're putting this person as the new star, like the Baxter Building is the place of Stark Tower. Reed Richards is the smartest person. Who is his protege? You know, and like and you already have Future Foundation for something like. And you know, you already have these people as celebrities and stuff, so it's like, you know, what I'm just saying, it'd be interesting to to see that.
And in Spider-Man's first issue, he does the FF do make a cameo in his first issue, so I wouldn't put it past them. Another thing that I wanted to highlight is also the science element. Seeing this big ass chalkboard of Reed doing his stuff and seeing him reminisce about the first day they launched.
I love that.
Love it.
That's a great shot.
Like
look at this, man. And I was in Comic-Con. Like I was surprised. I was like, Lucas was like, no, they're not gonna show any of that footage. It's not gonna be in the movie. Like, no, I hope it is. And it is. They saved it.
Right.
And it was clean. I was just like them and the astronaut and that color, like the hint of that blue, that type of blue.
Yeah.
It's just definitely giving retro 60s, but again, it's just giving a sense of like the Martian, you know, with Matt Damon, you know. Like that type of, like, you know, like I'm just want to watch the behind the featurettes. Like, you know, back in the day, like what really got film fans was after we got those DVDs or Blu-rays that we'll watch the making of, like behind the scene featurettes of how these movies got made. Like some of the best ones was from the original, actually from the prequels with Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith, how they did the Battle of Mustafar. I watch that shit all the time. So I'm like, I hope they bring some of that stuff back here to see how do you create this atmosphere and not just one single episode you put on Disney Plus, you know, and shit, you know, that do that making of. Like I want to see the hours long stuff that they used to do.
So something that, like, again, we're talking more of the teaser, but sometimes people have already picked up on Easter eggs, if you will, behind some of this material and whatnot. A good one is, you know, Reed here doing the signs, which people have already been saying he's probably in the movie. He's going to stretch his arm to finish the other side of that equation, if you will. And if you hone in on the left side of his shoulders, there's a little twirler thing that is a bridge, and people already
wormhole.
They're saying that it's a multiversal bridge, if you will, that he's trying to crack a way to go into the multiverse. Which I'm like, it is very Reed Richards. If he can discover the negative zone, he can discover a way to go into the multiverse and stuff like. That is very much Reed out the way. And I think another cool thing to say about what the 60s are and how different this world is from ours is that the last shot, there's an amazing shot of the FF together. You see all these arrows, they're on the stage and whatnot. People quickly realized that this was an homage to the Beatles when they showed up on the Ed Sullivan Show. And how there's the echoes of sentiment of how, okay, well, these four guys were the rock stars of our world. They are the rock stars of their world. And when I saw the detail, I was just like, all you need is love. Mwah! Like that is just like, oh, beautiful, beautiful side of it. And again, seeing that damn car, man. Whew, I am a American like design, like old school hot rod Mustang design. And when I saw this played out, I'm like, I can't wait to see this thing blow out. We see John Malkovich there, who I think people are calling he's a villain who tries to reignite the powers or the incident that made the four of them get their powers, if you will. So if that's the case, it'll be a cool dynamic of Reed trying to reverse the accident, and there's someone who's trying to recreate the accident to get powers for themselves and whatnot.
Yeah, he's a communist too.
Yeah, they played it with the whole Red Scare back in the day with the early 60s issues, if you will, and whatnot. But yeah, sharing the echoes of just like Pedro for me is Reed, and a lot of that could change by the time July comes. I could be wrong, and the movie just falls flat on its face around, but like it just feels too good to miss the mark at this point. And I love that. Like one of the last things we hear is that like it doesn't matter what obstacles come our way, that we're gonna fix this, we're gonna handle this as a family, and that it's Sue pushing that vibe and aura of this group of like misfits, quote unquote, but they are a family. Oh my gosh, seeing him run through the streets. Yeah, man. I think there's a lot of opportunity to enhance and improve some stuff, but I'm on ecstasy because it feels right. It feels right.
Yeah, I think design wise, it has the right ingredients. I feel like I say this every time, Jesus, but like it's got all the right ingredients, but I am slightly concerned about the story, or I guess the story execution, I should say.
Yes.
I'm definitely a bit nervous about that. I think I even said in my trailer reaction, like, I feel like I'm kind of holding myself back because I've just been burned so many times post Endgame, so many times. I don't know. It's like I don't know if just superhero film quality is just tanked, or if I'm just simply growing out of them, at least cinematically speaking. I don't know, because like pretty soon I'm about to release some like top 10 lists for films. It's like when you see the ones that are at number one, it's like, man, I mean, admittedly, I guess maybe there's never been a superhero film there, but at number one, but it's just like, goodness, I don't know. I just hope superhero storytelling cinematically brings their A game more.
Yes, you're not wrong, because listen, like even like watching everybody like now, like I used to follow who now I call friends, that now we're like colleagues now in this space. It's like I think also for me and Miguel's like our generation is like, listen, like we went through this height of the MCU and then the decline of the MCU. And I'm now to a point where my enjoyment for the Marvel films, like the way I used to when I was in high school, is over. Not because of, you just being a hater, naiveness. No, because I grew up. I grew up and I realized that some of the height I had was coming off of the momentum of success instead of judging these films individually for what they are. Because if you actually go back and see some of the films that we always keep referring to, it's only a handful of them out of the 20, right? And it doesn't, and you don't think about that because you can't think of them as standalone, because they are intentionally saying, "Oh, we're all serialized, we're all connected, and everything." So therefore, psychologically, it creates a level of confidence where, I give this a slide on another property you wouldn't give it a slide. But we're here, they have bit off more they can chew. And now to a point, even when you have big successes like Deadpool and Wolverine, you don't fool me, Marvel. Because even then, when I watched the movie, I was sitting right next to Lucas and my fraternity brother, and I'm waiting for the moment like, hey, where's the connectivity of actually setting this plot holes that you've been having in this multiverse saga? And what do? You pull on the rug. And literally the moment it happened, Lucas saw me, he laughed. And in our review, he's like, listen, I knew the exact moment when Mike was like, this movie does nothing. It's great, great entertainment. You can be entertained, but for longevity, for us to have actual foundational progress, we haven't got to that point.
I'm such a story-driven person. Like,
yes,
it's like I swear, I think that that year off from that I took for the MCU, it sort of like recalibrated something in my brain, because I was like, I just need a great story. Like, I really don't care about like what actors playing who. I really don't really care about like oh my god, this character is like the story is what I need. I need a great story, you know.
Yes.
That's what I need, and I think like Marvel's just like forgot that. Like I think they made a mistake with Endgame and Infinity War. I think they told those movies too well. I think they told those stories too well. It's like the only known time where Marvel seemed like scared, and they were like damn, we like actually need to deliver this time, and they did bizarrely. And it's like they haven't really done so since. But I wish they would return to that mindset of like we have to tell a great story, you know, like we cannot fail with this, you know.
Well, it goes over with the whole thing of quality versus quantity, and I've always said it. And
Yeah.
you know, people have been telling me it's that they're like Ronan. It was too much of a success for them to shut it off. They're like, the ballsy move would have been like after Endgame, you close the books, you close the doors for a few years, and you hear nada. You hear nada, and then next thing you know, you hear a little simmer. You hear WandaVision, Loki, and then you enter this.
Disney Plus really it diluted the brand, and I mean diluted in terms of flavor. You know, when you put water and alcohol and it dilutes the hit. You know anything? You know, shout out to wine and liquor connoisseurs, like myself. But yeah, it just I'm telling you, when something's off, and that's what it happened now. To a point, it's not hitting, and you need something stronger. And now here we go to where Boys and Invincible is now your strongest series of giving us that sense of satisfaction of flavor. But again, you don't have to go that far extreme to get good content. It's sad to say that, but that's where we are right now. And now we're trying to get back to the brands of what started this whole comic book industry, Marvel's first family and DC's first superhero. Like we're getting into that era right now, and I think we need rehabilitation for us as the comic book genre needs. You know, we need a lifeline. We need we need some.
They need to let me in there. They need to let. They need to let me in there, dog. Let me in there. Give me 180, 200 million, dog. Let me in, dog. Let me show y'all how to do this.
It's funny. He even called like before Endgame came out. He's like, I have a speculation for Endgame. What in the first 5 minutes? All of a sudden, he takes the Infinity Stones and just crushes it in his hands, right? And I was like, you called that shit before the movie came out.
Did I?
You did.
Don't you remember this? That's hilarious.
I was like, bro, it's like, why I'm writing your damn scripts? Like, you ain't paying them.
And that's why I think, like, to me, the shows have been the best thing outside of Endgame, you know, post Endgame. To me, they've been now have all of them hit all the strides. No, I have my own favorites. Like I think WandaVision, Loki, and Miss Marvel are my favorite ones. But I think that stuff like the specials have been successful. Like Werewolf by Night was a fresh thing that I appreciated from the mind of Michael Giacchino. The Guardians Holiday Special, to me, I think is better than Volume 2 from my regards, just because it was simple story, but it was about the characters. It honed in on them. Hi, Mike. What are you doing? And the only film
was better.
I think the Holiday Special was better than Volume 2. Volume 2.
Okay, interesting.
I think for me, as a whole, for me. I know, yeah, you probably think I'm crazy.
Yeah, I think Mike is taking down some notes, but
but I think with this teaser is that like there has to be some new fresh air, and saying it with this, I don't mind waiting for a movie, just one movie a year. To me, that's why again, Jor-El, you feel different about it, but like to me, that's what it felt last year. Great, that just all we had was Deadpool Wolverine. Like of a movie, like there was nothing else. That was the thing to talk about. And I feel like with now that we get the FF, it's like this is Marvel's first family, and thankfully they did this before X-Men. Because if you would have done X-Men post right after Logan and right after X-Men 97, it would have been a huge ass hurdle to go over, to be like, you have two things that just back to back nailed the X-Men foundation. And No pun intended.
No, because they're scared. They're scared of doing the X-Men. But that's
Wait,
But-
what the hell? What is going on with X-Men? Actually, wait, what? Skirt? What's going on with X-Men?
So they already have a
So-
writer for X-Men. They already have a writer that's in development for a film, but that's not going to come out till after Secret Wars.
Yeah.
And there's also been speculation that the Russo brothers are somewhat involved in terms of overseeing that project. Not saying that they're directors or whatever, but they're just overseeing that IP, of at least in their introduction.
Which makes sense because they produced the Deadly Class show, and that had a little element of like X-Men, where it's like kids misfits, but that's a very violent show. But it makes sense with that, and I think they're trying to wait once the multiverse stuff ends, because if I was a betting man in Vegas, they're gonna bring back the old X-Men movie cast for Secret Wars for one last hurrah and give them the suits and play the X-Men theme, and they'll say the goodbyes, and then it's like MCU X-Men, here we go. And I think that's fine, because right now, if you do the X-Men between now and Secret Wars, it'll be a clusterfuck. And I'm like, we don't need more cluster.
No, it's not even that.
That's their fault. That's their fault, though.
Yes,
that's their fault.
Yes, they're
releasing an X-Men film after Secret Wars. What? How did this even happen? What?
Because I'm gonna tell you why. They're scared. They're terrified of releasing the X-Men. I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
Because the moment they release X-Men or do anything X-Men related, nobody's gonna give a damn about anything else they do. Nobody's gonna give a damn about Black Captain America. I don't care. You got adamantium in that bitch. They don't care. They don't care. You can have Karen Marvel. No, you can have Beast show up in the end credit scene. They don't give a damn.
To be fair, the new Captain America, just in my personal opinion, almost objectively looks lackluster. But
listen, okay, you know what? I'm gonna message you later next week, because I'm gonna tell you this as a community.
Sure,
I know when we support our movies, right? Yeah. I know when we know when some film is gonna be a hit and it's gonna be in the social. Oh yeah, you're gonna be there next week. Yeah, I'm gonna be there too.
Sure.
And guess what? It's even Black History Month. Watch the box office for next week. And I have a video and script ready to dissect what's gonna happen. And I'm not gonna say anything's dead on arrival, but I'm just gonna tell you, at Marvel, just because another Black superhero property came out last time you did on Black History made $1 billion, you think, oh yeah, we can do that again? No, no, because you think all Black characters are all, oh yeah, this is for the Black community, right? It's for y'all. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. You're gonna watch. You're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today.
By the way, you guys want to know something also that's confusing? I love what was it called? Wakanda Forever? Is that what it's called?
Black Panther 2. Yeah.
Loved it. I actually gave it. I think I gave it a 10 out of 10 at the time, but absolutely loved it. Okay. And for the love of God, Ludwig Göransson was on the score. Jesus Christ. But yeah, bizarrely, I love that film. So for me to be saying what I'm saying about this next Captain America,
I'm stoked to check it out. Hopefully it delivers. I think Anthony Mackie has worked his ass off to get a hit, and
it's
like,
not even his fault. It's not even.
It's not, because I enjoyed the whatever the Falcon show. I
did too.
Great show.
I did too.
I loved it. Yeah, I think he's like a 9.
It's not his fault. And you have to have enough. You have to have enough of intelligence to understand what's about to happen is not on him. Not even the comments that he made. The
statements that he made weren't great.
That's all.
It wasn't
thing.
the best.
Yes,
it wasn't the best. It didn't help.
But I knew what he was saying. At least me, I knew what he was saying.
Yeah,
sure.
But I think that I could say that, like, although post Endgame, this is just me. You guys tell me if I'm wrong. I think post Endgame, there's been a mix of emotions, of quality and how much quantity was pumped out. You could throw in a lot of factors like COVID, how the strikes occur, and those things aren't avoidable. That just happens, and that's on Hollywood being like, "Yo, check yourself before you start fucking things up." But I think that stuff like the FF, stuff like Superman, that as long as the team behind them are honest to the characters, the mythology, and just deliver on a good film. Forget movies, forget cinema, just do a good film. Make sure that audiences who are not familiar with him love him. Like, to me, I think the goal of this film is like, sure, you gotta make the money, but like get kids to be intrigued and think science is cool. When it comes to Superman, make sure think that being nice is a cool thing to do, and it's not an obligation of yours. No, just that's just the simple, easy thing to do. The like, just be nice and think outside the box and think of not just yourself. And I think that these visuals presented to us are echoing that. Whether they land or not, who knows? But I think with optimism, whether on the individual side or as a society as a whole, that this film might do something. And like for me, Deadpool Wolverine brought in a breath of fresh air. And again, people might be bored or tired of hearing this, but from my angle, seeing Pedro have these opportunities to do his thing, it makes me proud. It makes me proud, and I'm happy that he's having this rise and he's being able to do these big characters. And I think people will hopefully after this, people be like, okay, let's quit the bitching and moaning. He can do a lot of stuff. He can do the Mando, he can do Joe, and now he can do Reed Richards. Let him do his stuff. And then if we are truly fans and the internet loves Pedro, show up when he does his indie movies. Show up when he does his stuff that's not the big blockbuster stuff. And I dug this teaser. That's my finishing thoughts for the teaser. What did you guys have any thoughts, projections, optimism, things you think there's opportunities for improvement for the teaser of the Fantastic Four First Steps?
It's a good trailer, and it certainly put a smile on my face, which is honestly is at this stage it's a big feat. However, there is that similar smell of like safeness and like kind of basic storytelling, which I hope is not there. I guess my biggest takeaway is that I think the MCU really needs to get radical. You know, like when I think about Infinity War and Endgame, those felt radical to me. Like the opening with Endgame with Thor decapitating Thanos, or like, you know, Spider-Man like begging for his life before he disappears, and then like, you know, the abrupt closing of Infinity War, wherever even me was just like, wait, what? The movie's over? You know, I think they need more radical storytelling to keep the fire burning. Because if my seeking suspicion is true, and this is like formulaic, basic storytelling, nothing, that's a massive problem. But hey, so far, so good. So far.
Mikey?
Listen, I'm just saying, like, this is a crucial film that they need as their launch pin to Avengers. Their wrapping of this multiverse saga, if you may will. And I'm just saying, with this, everybody worrying about Superman, and so even though that Superman has some stakes too, but the fact that this is your fourth Fantastic Four film, third iteration, excluding the original, like, you know, before
Roger Corman.
modern Marvel movies and stuff. This is your third attempt to do it, and if you don't deliver, you're fucked. You know.
Yeah, true. I mean, Superman's in the hot seat as well, though.
I know, of course. I'm just saying both of them are in separate reasons, but I'm just saying because Superman got the task of trying to launch an entire universe, even though it's still in the process of continuing even beyond him right now, like in terms of shooting and stuff, right? But with this, you also have Marvel's first family. You also have to set up basically almost two Avengers films, because we're jumping in with this, leading right into Doomsday. And there's the only two movies was this, Spider-Man 4, and Secret Wars. That's it in terms of MCU connectivity. But like really, but this IP, this is a question. In comics, video games, aside from Marvel Rivals and stuff, aside from that, video games or television, Fantastic Four has not been a money-making property for the last 20 years. What do you want to call rights issues? I call it in terms of appetite from the audience. Honestly, but yes, at the same time, it's due to writing of actually making these characters popular. But yeah, because we've been full before. I mean, listen, I think Flash is a popular character, but the box office don't say it, unfortunately. And
Because
so
they didn't tell the story right.
And the story wasn't right. But hey, I'm just saying, talk about popularity. The marketing they got here, I think it's crucial. I think, and also for Superman and Fantastic Four, quote unquote, aside from Captain America, is weird, it's coming out Black History Month, whatever. They're like the more American IPs.
Americana. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
It's just like American IPs and stuff in terms of, okay, I think you bring everybody can come together for this, and not have no freaking opinion. Aside from, Pedro Pascal liberalism and all that stuff. But yes, like they people nitpick, they'll find something. But yeah, I have hope, honestly. Vanessa Kirby's gorgeous. Screw you, Grace Randolph. Her hair is better than yours.
Wait, what?
Whoa, dude.
Skirt? What's the Grace Randolph thing?
She said like, where's Vanessa Kirby's hair and makeup department? Well, in the trailer, and I was like, excuse me, I beg your pardon.
Okay. First off, I literally thought when I first heard the casting, I literally thought like, I don't know. I feel like maybe she's like too like elegantly beautiful for the role. I was like, I feel like we chose the
right because
wrong person.
If they like make her more rugged looking, it's like, oh, they're making her more masculine and all that stuff like that. Like, no. If it like Sue Storm is one of the most beautiful but like popular female characters in Marvel, and also the fact that she's talking the most in this trailer makes sense because she's the wife, she's the first lady of the first family, she is the big sister, and she is basically the mother of the group of it all. And so
Jackie
it's like
Kennedy.
yes, literally. So it's like it makes sense for that. And it's not of like, oh, I'm a strong woman, hear me war. It's like, no, I'm strong because of the family I have beside me, and I'm not going to let them get hurt because I'm going to defend them like they're going to defend me. We're going to do this together. That is the type of woman I hope you have in your life. I do with mine, with my wife. So hey, you all complaining, it might be a sign of what you're lacking. I don't know, but hey, it's just I think we're good here. I think we're good here, and maybe I don't know if they're going to show something extra for Super Bowl, but save your money on the VFX.
Yeah,
they need it. They need it.
Yeah.
July's coming up quick.
Yeah. What was I gonna say is that I feel like one thing that like, call me romantic, call me old school, whatnot. I just wish, and I've told this to Mikey already. I think he already heard me say this. That like, I wish Jack Kirby, Ross Goldstein, his wife.
Oh yeah.
I wish Stan Lee's wife, Joanne Lee, who really pushed Stan to be like, you know what, F it. Just make one comic book the way you want to do it, and if not, you just go back to do westerns. And Stanley himself, I wish they really were here to watch this, because I think they would be proud of how this group of actors are bringing these characters to life and have that do truly have that family chemistry with them. And Michael Giacchino, Senor, I bumped into you 2 times in Comic-Con. I regret not asking you for a photo. Next time that happens, I am going to bug you. So just give me a heads up in advance. Please give it all with this soundtrack, because it's just this one theme already has me hooked. And so I can't imagine the rest of the score he's going to give the FF. And I know he has it in him, because The Incredibles is one of the best scores in the history of cinema, in my opinion. And that's
interesting.
Yeah. And that's where I feel with that. Folks, we talked, we dissected, we gave our thoughts on the Fantastic Four, Marvel, how we feel about these characters, how we feel the execution might be, and our, dare I say, hopes might be for this team, this group, and the future onwards. Muchachos, thanks so much for joining me, man. I've been biting my tongue the whole day to just let out this whole thing since I've been out since 4 a.m. when I gotta tell you, Marvel, I love y'all. When you say you're gonna launch something at 7 a.m., a lot of people are gonna really think you're gonna launch something at 7 a.m. EST. If you're gonna do a countdown, do it at 6 a.m. EST. That way we know, okay, there's a countdown and this is when it's gonna go. There was a whole fast shoot, dude. Like, it was almost like people were waiting for 2 hours for this trailer to drop.
I'm confused. I thought there was a YouTube premiere for the launch.
There was,
and then there was a live chat. Listen, I told y'all last night in the Discord, like, yo, they're gonna make a launch like a space show, and they're gonna have an hour-long live stream because Good Morning America don't start until 8. So then they're gonna have that. I'm on the East Coast, so yeah, they have all that, and then have 2 seconds of them talking again post 8 o'clock, so be around 8:10, 8:15. And then so depending on the number of the cast, and then they go from there, and then they re-release the entire trailer. It's exactly what it is, and they need to get a new host for that trailer though. Yeah, she, like, I don't know, like, listen, there was only 10 minutes of you actually speaking and trying to hype up the crowd and stuff, and you asked Pedro Pascal the same question twice. Come on now, you know better, like. Yeah,
Bruh,
and also,
I feel like
I was afraid that they were going to show, like, beginning the trailer. You know how these studios should give you a trailer before the trailer of all the shots and everything. Stop doing that shit. All you studios, you too, Disney, don't do it. I'm already clicked on it. Don't give me,
right. Yeah, I said this at the beginning, but like, I'm such a 4K junkie. Please give me 4K versions of the trailer. What are we doing? It literally only just increases the possibility of people saying nicer things about your film. Like the Doom Part 2 trailers, they didn't have this problem. They were like all in 4K. Which is so insane looking back. But yeah, please do that. Please make this a norm. like, what are y'all doing? You guys have like millions of dollars. What?
I agree. Jor-El, thanks for talking Fantastic Four with us. Plug your channel, man. What can people find you, and what you got cooking down the pipeline?
It's on the screen. Jor-El's Alexandria. That's my main YouTube channel. Do movie reviews, movie related stuff, TV show related stuff, art projects, stuff like that. So you can find me there.
Beautiful. Michael?
Yeah, you can find me down below here, Jedi Mike 7, brought to you by So Well Media on YouTube. Yes, I'll have a bunch of interviews that's coming up. I interviewed the actual the writer for Captain America: Brave New World, Rob Edwards. I have that next week. And I interviewed also got Marvin Jones III as well from the Defiant project they had at San Diego Comic-Con and stuff coming from there. But yeah, Invincible. I already have my non-spoiler review popping up, so our spoiler episode by episode breakdowns become weekly, and also Santa Barbara Film Festival. I got some that film festival is going on, so some reviews are coming up shortly. I just gotta actually edit and all that stuff and everything. So schedule. So like I said, you want to try getting this movie critic life, you need a schedule, y'all. You need a schedule because this is too much. When you get all these screeners, man, I'm telling you, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. But yeah, you follow me everywhere at Jedi Mike 7.
Beautiful. Folks, you best believe when more stuff for the Fantastic Four drops, we're going to be covering it on this channel. I want to reach 1,000 subs ASAP. I'm going to say it again. If you already heard it, I'm going to say it again. I have crazy ideas I want to do with this channel. And the more the numbers go up, the more chances I get to do this stuff. At one point, I want to be able to fly to Jor-El or to Mike and record an episode of Bottles and Bricks, the Last of Us podcast, or But if I grow bigger, I want to fly them out to LA. We're gonna hang out over a weekend and just shoot stuff and record stuff and just drive all of LA and Hollywood mad. So
Absolutely.
subscribe.
Burn
We
it.
got a lot of stuff cooking down the pipeline. I'm pretty sure I have Invincible coverage coming down on Thursday. If timing works well, Sakamoto Days will be covering again on Saturday mornings. And you best believe that Daredevil Born Again, The Last of Us Season 2, and their Season 2, and Devil May Cry coverage will be happening down in April, unless something happens. I mean, I don't know. But that's the plan for the next few months. And folks, I think that the proper way to end is by saying thank you, muchas gracias. Let's hope for a better future. And I think this film might end up being fantastic. I think it might be fantastic.
What? Say that again. Say that again.
It's fantastic. Take care, everybody.
I got
Have a
it.
good night.
I got it.